This is Europe's secret steak that America doesn't know about.
Big thanks to Napoleon Grills for sponsoring this episode.
This is it. And every European guy is now screaming, yeah, of course, that's it. We know. Don't worry about it. This is called buffet. We eat it a lot. In restaurants, this is the top steak selling at the moment. You're either going to have beef tenderloin or you're going to have this. And everybody knows that beef tenderloin is way overpriced, so everybody's eating this steak instead. It's buffet. But the weird thing about this steak, that it's not a thing throughout the world. You see, this is not a flank steak. Definitely not. As a matter of fact, it's not even on the Angus beef chart. I'm actually going to show you on my phone. It's not on the map. And if you didn't know, there are actually maps for how to cut a cow. So if you wonder about steaks, that's where you find the most information. This is the Angus beef chart. I got it on my screen right there. We've got the flank here. It says flank steak, skirt steak. And this chart says it comes from the short plate. And then if we take a look at the flank cut, tip steak, tip roast, cubes for kebabs. Cubes for kebabs, honestly. You see how that Angus chart is kind of missing that steak, and it's not even on the map. It does mean it's not there because Americans know that this thing is called the flap steak. And now I know there's a couple of bells ringing. Flap steak, you're going to find it in grocery stores. You're not going to find it on the map, but it's actually one of the best sold steaks throughout Europe in restaurants. And therefore, we're going to grill it up today so the whole world can see why they need to eat this steak and put it back on the map. I'm going to be cooking on the Napoleon Prestige grill, the Phantom Black Edition. And I already have some bread on that needs to come off right now. I want to warm up this grill so that we got plenty of heat. Now this grill has stainless steel casted grill grates, which means you got casted grill grates that are not gonna rust, and they're so thick and durable, hold so much energy, and that's gonna be perfect to sear off our steak with. Of course, before we get into that, I'm gonna season it with a little bit of PITMASTERX Texas seasoning. There we go. Flip this around. A little salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. I'm gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes so the salt can draw into the steak and make the flavor of the beef pop even more. Let's see how far along we are on the temperature on the grill. It has a screen that tells us how much gas we have left, what the temperature is inside the grill. And currently we have a temperature of 263 degrees Celsius, which is about 512 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is plenty of hot to start grilling our steak. Let's open it up. The flap steak itself has a good amount of intermuscular fat, and that's great for cooking, but it's not going to render out until it's molten. Until that time, this steak is going to stick to the grill grates. Now, I want to make sure we get the perfect steak, and therefore I'm going to sprinkle the grill grates with a little bit of grill spray. And this is a new thing that I think works really well. You can also see if your grill grates are hot. And then all you need to do is put the steak on. The cool thing about this steak is that we can actually see it shrink. We're just going to lay it out and it's going to contract because of the muscles. And that's exactly the tension that we're talking about when we rest the meat. That tension that we build up by putting in heat, we also want to let go again. So that's an awesome thing to see working with a piece of meat like this. This steak is going to grill in a couple of minutes. And that time we're going to use to make something delicious. And actually using this time to do it is my demonstration of showing you how little work this is. I got a chorizo sausage right here. I'm going to cut that up. And I got my blender here. We're going to set it to auto. Just let it run. Chorizo goes in. Stop. Peel an onion, quarter it. Add it to the blender. Add 2 pickles, a tablespoon of capers, a tablespoon of mustard, a tablespoon of all-purpose barbecue seasoning, a chunk of Parmesan cheese, and a couple of slices of butter. And while this thing is working, I'm going to flip the steak. Look at that, building up some crust. Let's check on the spread, see what it's like. The best way to do that is to perform a taste test. Oh. I'm gonna put that spread in a jar. This way I can save it. This is probably gonna be good for about a week or so if you keep it in the fridge. And I promise you, you're gonna love this spread. I'll show you later on why that is. Let's check on our steaks, see how far we are. 33, 36. All right, so the steak's actually coming along nice, but it's not going super fast, which is a good thing because it's going to cook more even when it goes a little slower and we get a better opportunity to build up a crust. Gonna close the lid, and with the closed lid, the stainless steel grill grates will build up even more heat, giving us an even better crust. Just gonna check the temp again, and we're at 50 degrees Celsius core temperature. And that means I'm gonna take it off because we gotta take into consideration that even though it's not done yet, it's going to continue to cook while it's resting. But look at the size now. It's almost half the size of what it was. Let's close the lid, turn off the grill, and while it's resting, I'm gonna put on that spread. Spread it out a little bit and let it melt over that steak. I'm gonna give this about 10 minutes to rest. So this is going to be the perfect flap steak, aka buffet, everybody needs to know about. Now, another thing you need to know about this steak is that it has a lot of strong grains. It's got coarse muscles, like a skirt steak. Now, the way to see in which direction they're running is by taking the piece of meat and just stretching it out. If we take a look at the bottom, you can see more clearly they run like this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is make it more accessible. And this is actually what restaurants do for you. They take your steak and then they basically take a small piece of it. So this would be something that they would cook. They already have the rest prepared, and then they're going to take that out and slice it up. And if you cut it against the grain like that, you're going to have a very enjoyable steak. Now, don't slice big chunks, then you're still going to end up with a tough steak. But if you slice it nice and thin, then you're going to end up with a beautiful thing. That is just perfection. We grilled it. We didn't have to use the reverse sear method. This is a steak that is just too easy to grill. Look at it. Perfect. Let's give it a try. Wow, that is so tasty. The beef really pops, and that spread is delicious. Now, I got my bread, which we toasted earlier. Put a little bit more of that chorizo spread on it. There we go. If you enjoyed this, go check out our website. The spread recipe's right there. If you're looking for a seasoning, you can find it in our web shop. All links are down below. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Cheers.